So this is the fifth time I've started recording because I don't know how to start, but um, you know who it is because you know who posted this. Um, so Team Alpha, let's uh, let's get down to it. Um, the team members, Jessica, I was originally kind of hesitant about her. Like she always showed up late, which at first was kind of annoying and then kind of became an endearing feature, I guess. But she really kind of held the team together. I don't want to say that she was a team leader or like the team leader because I don't think we were like that well defined, but she definitely kind of filled in those blanks. And she also came up with the idea for the Fungwa. I mean, she really did a great job with this team. Um, she also did the a lot of the written proposal. That was early on when we didn't really know what we were doing and hadn't really stepped into all of our roles, so we helped, but she wrote most of it. Um, Roberto, um, you know, I don't think me and Roberto ever really got along that well. We clashed a lot, but it wasn't really till the end that things got bad. Um, he was a good guy. I liked him. Um, he actually was instrumental in the storyboard and in the directing of the video. It was his, I think honestly, it was his humor that uh, really put our put our Kickstarter ahead of everyone else's. If I had been directing, I probably wouldn't have used as much humor, and we wouldn't have gotten as far. So, you know, props to him. I think he did a great job. For Skylar, that kid had some great hair. I'm just saying it. It's kind of hard to point at exactly what Skylar's role in the team was, at least in my opinion. But every team kind of needs that person. Someone who just fills in and does what needs to be done when it needs to be done. For instance, he always had like the cameras and the microphones ready for us when we needed them. He also did a lot when it came to, the annotated bibliography at the very beginning. He was just a great kid. Um, yeah, Skylar was cool. Yeah, so how did I do with the team? I originally felt like I wasn't doing that much. I felt like I was just kind of coasting on, uh, you know, everyone else's work. But towards the middle, I felt like I was kind of, with them. And then at the end, I saw all of the technical stuff like editing a video and 3D printing stuff. And that's all stuff I've done before. That's like what my favorite thing in high school was, shooting films and designing things with 3D printers. Like that's what I love, and I kind of I pulled it away from the rest of them, and I apologize for that. I apologize profusely to them. Um, and Skylar and Jessica seemed okay about it. They were like, it's okay, Jacob. It you know, but Roberto was very angry, and I think it's because when he was directing the film, um, I didn't quite like all of like him using so much humor, so I was kind of vocal against that. I apologized to him for that, and I'm sorry that it happened, but I think he saw that the video when I finished editing it wasn't what he wanted, and he was pissed about that. Um, that said, though, I still messed up. So if there's points to be taken away on that, on any of that, it if you can take more away from me than the others, do so. It was my fault. But that's I think that's all I'm gonna say on the subject. You know, Last year, I was in an engineering class where the team just got along like really well. We clicked. It was amazing. This team, not quite to the same degree, and I was kind of expecting that, but important things to take away from this is I need to communicate a lot more. I think that's one of the main areas I fell down in. Another important takeaway is that I need to evaluate the team a bit more and just kind of find the right role. You know, Chris, I think you did a great job. I didn't actually realize that you were having personal trouble until you said so, but I think you did a great job with the class. I really enjoyed watching the videos. Actually, all of them were great, except for Metropolis. I didn't really care for that one, which is, I guess, good that I had to watch it because that was the one we were presenting. If we weren't presenting it, I may not have gotten all the way through, to be honest. Um, but you know what could be improved? I think maybe trying to weed out those students that, like James, maybe have too much on their plate a little bit earlier on. I know that's not really something you can control. That's really something more for the individual student, but I don't know. That really could have helped earlier on if we had known that James was gonna bail on us. Um, you know, oh, another thing that would be helpful, I think, is I know you probably didn't intend for the Lego building session with your girls, but that was incredibly helpful for our team. I think if we'd had that, like, maybe in the first week, I know the first week was pretty busy, but if we'd had that earlier on, I think it really would have helped with, like, figuring out roles and stuff, just because it requires the class or like each team to go through the full uh, brainstorm, design, and create process like within a couple hours instead of a few weeks. And if you can do that on the small scale before you go into the major leagues, I guess, it's a lot more helpful. I can't think of anything else. Honestly, I think you're one of the top teachers I've had so far at BSU, and I mean, I guess I've only been here for 3 semesters now, but you know, I think you did an excellent job, and I hope I can get you in, uh, UF-100. Anyway, until I see you next, I guess, goodbye.